Hey guys. Well, it's finally here. It's the morning after my last day. And I know, I never really thought I'd see the day either. So I actually went back and counted them with this app, and it was like 7,321 days of doing TV weather. And today's really the first time I've actually been unemployed since I was 14. It seems kind of weird to think I'm not a part of 5 News anymore. I know it probably does for you too, but I guess in a sense, 5 News will always be a part of me along with each of you too. So this morning, I just wanted to speak to all of you one last time, personally and candidly about life, my future, marriage, parenting, gratitude, and the journey that we're all on together. We've been through a lot together in TV. 9/11 attacks, so many tornado outbreaks, historical floods, winter storms, ice storms, this crazy pandemic, and those summers that you had to suffer seeing me in spandex during the bike tours. So sorry about that. Having me into your homes and hearts is something I will always honor and will always treasure. So what's next, right? Well, the truth is I'm not exactly sure what it looks like. My heart and passion are with people and serving the greater good in our community. And I feel like I find happiness and hope in our shared humanity. Believing in others and helping others find success is really where I want to find myself. And no matter what role I do or where I am or what I do, my connection to others is where I know where my heart should be and where it will be. What I do know though is like the weather, life has many seasons. It's kind of difficult to see when one stops though and the other starts though, isn't it? On some level you can feel and sense the change though when it happens. So deciding to leave a career without a new one has seriously been like the scariest thing I've ever done. And I guess time will tell if it's gonna be the dumbest too. But you can't cross the ocean if you're not willing to take your eyes off the shore. And I figure if cauliflower can be pizza, I can do anything I want. Seriously though, over the years you've given me the privilege to be in your homes, and you've trusted me with your family's safety. You've shared with me your struggles, your celebrations, your lives. So I want to share with you openly and honestly about some of mine. The hardest lesson I've learned at this stage of my life is no one's coming to save you. And I'll say it again because some of you really need to hear it right now. No one's coming to save you. Your success is your responsibility. Your failures, they're your opportunities. The future is really just what you make it. You own and you write your own story. And frankly, sometimes you just have to be your own hero. And you may not have been there for yourself in the past, but you can be there for yourself now. It reminds me of one of my favorite authors, Brene Brown. She's got this quote, and I'm probably messing it up, but loving others and owning our story is the bravest thing we'll ever do. Our relationships are the most important things we have in life, but why do we so often overlook the relationship that we have with ourselves? Have you ever thought about that? The way you talk to yourself, the stories you tell yourself, these things matter. Because whatever you believe, you become. And I sometimes wonder what you guys were thinking when you see all of us on TV. It probably looks like we live these like bright and shiny lives in front of the camera and we have it all together. We don't. We're no different than you. Grief, success, regrets, celebrations, happiness, sadness. We're all part of this human experience we call life. And like I said in one of the videos when we were leaving, one of the goodbye videos at work, we have so much more in common than we do apart. There have been days and seasons of my life with depression. I mean, days I faked it and then smiled 3 minutes to try to get through a weather segment. And honestly, it happened a lot more than you would care to know. We all need to stop living like it's Halloween every day and dress up and pretend to be someone we're not. And too many times, that's seriously exactly where I found myself. We all cope with our hurts in different ways. Let me just say this. You guys need to be really careful with alcohol. And how much you drink or how often you drink, it's irrelevant. I'm not some teetotaler. I had champagne last night. I came home from work and my neighbors sprayed me with champagne. But maybe you don't drink at all, and that's great too. But if you do, just listen up for a second. It boils down to this. If you have problems when you drink, you are a problem drinker. And if this is you, you probably already know this. You just need to know you have options. For me, I did something called the Sinclair method and naltrexone. It basically works like this. You take like one naltrexone pill an hour before you drink anything, and then you don't act like a jackwagon and make stupid mistakes and talk like an idiot. That works for me. It may not work for you. Just find something that works for you. You have to take control of your life. You have to take control of it before it actually starts taking control of you. And the one thing you should never ever do is just accept things just the way they are. They don't have to be that way. And you know, there's been seasons where I was totally in over my head, parenting, for example. I mean, you leave the hospital with this human and you can't believe they're actually letting you take him home, right? So the first time we took Graham home, we had no idea how to get him to stop crying. And all we could think of, we ran the vacuum in the hallway all night to get him to sleep, and we nicknamed it like Uncle Dyson. It's crazy, man. I remember one day, we had a tornado warning. It was in October, and it was like 10 in the morning. I got called into work, and I left Graham in the control center, or control room in a baby carrier. I think he was like 4 months old. You just do what you have to do as a parent. I mean, you just do, right? Being a dad has been awesome. It's been the best and hardest and most rewarding thing I've ever done. But let's be real. Life in general can just be really freaking hard sometimes. We carry with us our hurts of the past, our regrets, scars of our childhood, and then we grow into adults, and frankly, most days we just try to survive. None of us really know what the hell we're doing, to be honest with you. Have you ever stopped to think about why we check in with the dentist like every 6 months, but rarely, if ever, check in on our mental health? So last week, I was driving home, and I came across a single police officer talking to someone standing on the other side of an I-49 overpass. And it was really clear to me what he was thinking of doing. And I won't forget the look on his face, because I recognized it and I've related to it. Texted a buddy of mine and said, should I stop and help, or am I gonna make it worse? And he said, stop, but if the officer tells you to leave, get out of there. So I stopped, but by the time I turned around, the police officer had him on the other side of the railing and he was sitting down. I hope he finds his worth and really gets the help he needs. Those dark places that y'all have been to, I've been there too. And you just need to know it gets better. And if you go there, do not dwell there. You're really not as alone as you think you are. And honestly, I find it outrageous that mental health care is not prioritized in our country. I'd literally not be here without it. Physical health is just inseparably linked to mental health. I don't know why we pretend like they're not. So if you haven't, have you ever considered like an employee assistance program, or maybe talking about life with a therapist? Not because anything's wrong, but to keep everything right. It's a lot easier to go to the dentist for a cleaning than it is to go for a full-blown dental reconstruction. I kind of feel like at a minimum, dental and mental health checkups should be like 6 months apart. Thinking about thinking is just something we forget to do. And here's another hard truth. Our secrets just make us sick. We don't do secrets in our home, and you shouldn't either. That thing you need to talk about, find the right time and talk about it. Don't keep it inside. Be brave and have the hard conversations. That thing that you need to stop, or maybe that thing that you need to start, do it. The weight of regret is heavy, and the past is just a one-way door. You can't go back. You have to start treating yourself like you would treat someone that you love. Start sharing life with a trusted someone who has earned the right to hear your story. So I want to tell you about my someone. So 22 years ago, I met Ashley Brooke. She's the woman who's my wife, my best friend, my strongest ally, greatest fan of my life. We have grace with each other. We have grace with ourselves. We experience the storms of life together. Heck, she's actually weathered actual storms at home almost every time alone. The long, severe winter weather nights when I slept at work on a cot, the Christmas Eves she spent home alone, or the time she's been like huddled up in the hallway or bathroom with our kids, TV on full blast, the actual tornado passing over the house. That happened in October of 19. But she's also the one that eats ice cream with me and watches The Office over and over again in bed with me late at night after I get home from work. And in case you're wondering, the top Office episodes are going to be Benihana at Christmas, amazing. The Injury, because if you've never burned your foot on a Foreman grill, which who has other than Michael Scott, and stress relief. She tolerates my dad jokes, and so did you guys, honestly, at the end of the 5 and the 4 o'clock. My inability to locate the hamper, all the cups I leave on the nightstand, my obsession with sleeping in a box fan every night, all the times I've whispered, "That's what she said," at the most inappropriate times. Some people say marriage is happily ever after, but if you've ever been married, you really know it's not. It's the experience of writing your story, and hopefully more good chapters than bad chapters, but nonetheless, it's the story of your relationship, both with yourself and with others. And the best thing is the ending's still unwritten. Ashley Brooke and I are writing a great story, and I'm grateful she really supported me when I told her I wanted to jump into the unknowns and step away from broadcasting. I just love her so much. In late 2019 and all of 2020, I just reflected on my kids and my life and my career, my marriage. I mean, what else were we supposed to do in 2020? Couldn't do anything, right? The difference between a good marriage and a great marriage is really the degree to which we're willing to be honest with ourselves. So if you're in a relationship, treasure them, treasure each other, and treasure yourself. Transitioning careers, as hard as it is, and as much as I love what I did at 5 News, it gives me the opportunity to reflect on my treasures. Ashley Brooke, my son Graham, my daughter Ellis, and honestly, myself too. As for 5 News, I've worked with the most talented, respected, and professional meteorologists and journalists and producers in the industry. I'll miss them dearly, and I'll watch them daily. And I hope you will too. The authenticity of my coworkers is something uncommon, something I'll forever be grateful for. And finally, to all the healthcare workers, thank you. Thank you for your heart and for your compassion. I'm sorry you're having to do this all over again. And long after the pandemic is over, the trauma of the pandemic will linger for you. So thank you for what you're doing. And my healthcare workers, my psychologist, Carrie, you helped me calm the storm inside of myself. Doctors Murphy, Stanley, Seals, Rankin, all of you never gave up on me at times when I did give up on myself. So for all of you, live and love your life with purpose and with meaning. Set your intention. Be kind and love deeply. And I'll wrap this up with the way I ended the newscast last night. It's one of our family's favorite quotes, words to live by. You can't do everything for everyone, but all of us can do something for someone. So for the final time, thanks for watching and trusting us over the years with the weather where you live. I'll see you around.